Goodbye to you. Goodbye to everything that I knew. Oh, you were the one I love. The one thing that I tried to hold on to. The one thing that I tried to hold on to.
Go off, King.
Thank you. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Had to go extra with it.
Welcome back to the shade of it all.
Yes, welcome back. I'm Brandon.
I'm Maggie. And Brandon got a haircut.
I did. It doesn't look...
You don't like it?
No, well, I like the cut. It's just, it doesn't look too good today because I really didn't do much to it. And it's kind of like a little oily.
We need to stop this self-deprecation. It looks great, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
I was just thinking, I don't think you repeat hairstyles.
You know?
You're so versatile.
Oh, thank you.
I love it.
I try to switch it up. Sometimes I go back to a default. This was a little shorter than I initially planned. I had haircuts in mind, and then my hair lady was like, your hair won't look like this. You have too fine of hair. And I was like, oh, okay.
All right, we'll get me together.
Well, damn, well, I want a little shorter. So, like, she kind of almost got what I wanted. And, like, I like it, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just feel like my hair's been all over the place this week because it's been a stressful week.
Oh, yeah. Brendan had a busy week.
I did. And it's just a lot. And like my sleep schedule's off. Everything feels off.
Yeah.
I feel off.
Why?
I don't know.
Because it was Sunday you couldn't sleep, right?
Yeah, Sunday I couldn't sleep. And I could never really sleep on Sundays, just in general.
Okay.
But this one was worse. Like I didn't fall asleep, I don't think, until like 5. And I was trying to fall asleep at least by like midnight or 1.
Really?
Yeah, I just couldn't sleep.
Okay, but like, did you get back on your phone or something?
I did kind of, and I'll have the TV on, but then I try to turn it off, and then I try to play like sometimes Cozy Rain in a New York apartment.
Yeah.
Manifesting. And sometimes that helps, but it was one of those days I couldn't. So I only got 3 hours of sleep. Wow. And then Monday was day 1 of close, which is my busiest day of close. Get me out of accounting. And that was stressful because me and my one coworker were kind of switching tasks, and both are kind of like intense tasks. Mine that I'm giving is a little more time consuming, but I'm still doing a part of it. And then it's just his is a little more complicated and convoluted, so it's kind of still getting used to all of that.
Yeah.
And it was just busy, and then he was making some mistakes, and I am not one who... I get annoyed like when I'm teaching something and people do it wrong. I could never be a teacher, but I don't show it. I think
Johnny had 3 apples.
Right. Like when he makes the mistakes, I'm like, no worries at all. Like that's just so fine. Like
but
you're just
inside,
learning.
you're just
but
like,
when we're not on the call, I'm like, you're fucking up my schedule, okay?
Oh my gosh, yes.
But I have enough wherewithal to not, say that. And I have sense. So, and it was just adding on to the already stressful when I was like tired thing. So like had I not been tired, I feel like I wouldn't have been as annoyed. And then it was just like, I literally that night, I didn't get done like doing a lot of work until I think I want to say, what was it? 8:30.
Dang.
And then I fell asleep, Maggie, at 10 p.m.
Wow.
It was nice. It was one of those, I fell asleep almost instantly.
Yeah.
I was like, is this, I want to be where the people are.
This was truly today drained me.
Yes. I was like, is this how it goes for most people?
Wow. How'd you feel when you woke up?
Well, here's the thing. Because I'm me, the sleep schedule was odd. Because I woke up at 3 a.m. feeling fully rested.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, but it's too early to start my day. It's 3 a.m. So I tried to sleep for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which it was kind of peaceful. It was, that time where you're tired and your eyes are closed, but you're still kind of awake.
Yes.
And then you kind of play the TV. So it was kind of nice, but then stressed because I'd have to work the next day. And then I think I got out of bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock because day 2 is a little easier.
Yeah.
And then my sleep the next day, I think I got more sleep than Sunday, but still not much. This past night I didn't get much, but I got more. like it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But my sleep just felt off.
Yeah.
And I just like, I felt stressed.
Yeah.
And it's been hard.
I'm so sorry, Brandon. When you told me that, I was like, what? Because I know like you don't sleep early, but I never seen you say you haven't slept. I was like, what's going on? What happened to my friend?
He's going through it. But it's okay. We persevere.
We persevere. We get through it.
The week's almost over. So it's fine.
Yeah, it's Thursday. And it doesn't, I don't know about you, but this week felt really short for some reason. Even though we had all the days.
Yeah.
Like, because last week was a holiday, so that went by fast. But when we got to Wednesday, I was like, it's Wednesday already?
Yeah. It's just been an odd week.
Yeah.
But I know you were saying you were
I've
struggling
been feeling
with
the
some
same
sleep.
way. Yeah, I can't sleep. And so I got the Whoop, right? And my Whoop is like, try to have a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed at the same time every day. That's cool in theory, but like lately I just either it's like when it's time for me to go to bed and relax, I don't feel like it. And then I've been waking up a lot and then I'll stay up all night.
Yeah.
So yesterday I was exhausted. I texted you at like 8:30.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not, and I felt bad too, because I was like, it's not late enough for this to be an inconvenience, but I feel like I'm inconveniencing Brandon because I wanted to make some videos, but I was like, felt like my eyes were heavy. I was like, I need to go to sleep. So I texted you. I was like, can you help me? He was like, of course, go to sleep. So I go to sleep. Obi comes home at like 10:30. I wake up. I'm wide awake. I can't go back to sleep. I play rain sounds. I'm listening to boring podcasts. I even watched, I don't know if you've seen clips of it, Bob the Drag Queen and a couple other people play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
It's actually really funny.
Okay.
But like boring enough that I was like, let me listen to this. And then it hit me. I was like, I'm hungry. So because
that will do it sometimes. You're like, I'm feeling off, and it's like, oh, I haven't drank water today.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually think I need a solid meal.
Yeah, it was like midnight, and I was like, I think I'm hungry. Like, it wasn't like my stomach was growling, but I was like, I think I can't sleep because I'm hungry. You know, like babies, you give them a bottle, they like pass out.
Yeah.
Like, I really think it was because of the food. So this is my third week on Invisalign, 3.5 probably. I think we're at that point. I started the new tray on Monday. And my hack has been, just don't eat. Hey, you want to know? I have to have this. I have to do 20 hours a day. Yeah. So that doesn't even give me time to eat like 4 meals and brush my teeth, depending on how long it takes, right? And I'm noticing I'm not even really chewing anymore because it hurts to chew. So I was doing like 1 or 2 meals a day. Yeah. And then last week I got on the scale and I'd lost like 5 pounds. And I was like, oh, hey, we're not mad at it. Like,
what happens happens.
Exactly. And it's not like I'm like hungry and I'm not eating. Like, maybe it's not like I'm ravenously hungry and I'm just like, drink water, you'll be fine. Like, I'm just like, I'll just have 2 meals instead. And then yesterday, I think I had only eaten like maybe 1 or 2, because especially eating at work, it's so inconvenient. It is. Because it takes me 30 minutes to eat and then I have to brush my teeth and floss. So it's like, and I realized I was doing too much because I bumped into some people who gave me some Invisalign hacks, but I was like brushing my teeth very well for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, this is too much. So I can really only eat once at work, where usually I'd have like maybe breakfast, lunch, and a snack. I was just doing 1. So last night, I was like, okay, well, we have to eat. So I ate something because I'd been meal prepping anyway. And I fell asleep so fast. I was like, oh my gosh. And I should have put it together because on Saturday, I went to EOS and they do like a welcome workout to basically like try to talk you into personal training. I got a personal trainer, which is really insane. We'll talk about that next. We will talk about that next.
Not Maggie quitting F45 to save money.
Getting a personal trainer.
How expensive?
It's more money. I'm a dumbass.
More money than F45?
Yes, I'm so stupid, Brandon.
Maggie.
We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. But anyway, I'll finish this story.
I can't. Well, you know what? We have 3 Patreon members now.
LOL.
So maybe half of that will
go
towards your trainer.
Fund.
I'm about to bully you to quit and join F45 again. I can't. This is so Maggie coded to quit something for one reason and then just to join another thing to spend more.
And then someone's like, well, we did. So anyway, I do a trial workout with them. It's like a HIIT workout, and I'm like lightheaded and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, I should have put it together then. But anyway, I'm like, okay, I think I need to eat more, and then I'll be, because I also have had like no energy. Yeah, I've been feeling super lethargic. And I was like, oh, it's because I didn't sleep. But I think I didn't sleep because I didn't eat. So let's talk about the trainer thing. So y'all, my thing right now is I need to save money because I just want to like get out of debt, cut back on things. You know, I canceled a bunch of subscription. I only have Peacock right now. I really only have the subscriptions for the shows that we watch. I'm cutting back on a lot of things, trying to stick to a budget, you know, trying to be better.
Smart.
And so I quit at 45. And they're like, well, you know, when I signed up for EOS, they're like, you can do a welcome workout. It's nothing, you know, just come and do it. I'm like, okay. And even the guy who was doing the workout for me, he was like, well, you know, I'm going to tell you about this. I'm going to tell you about the plan. We're going to work out together. And then if you want to sign up for training, you can. No pressure. Super low key. But at the end of it, I was just like, I was thinking in my head how hard it was. So I went to EOS once the week prior, and I only showed up that day because I had an appointment with them. Yeah. And I was like, it's been really hard for me to come here by myself. So I did this thing again where I'm like, yes, before I know how much it costs. So it's $88 bi-weekly.
Oh, so it's like 172. 172.
Or 176, I think.
Yeah, 176.
So just like maybe about $20 more than the F45. But it is individualized, but I'm going to cancel it. Because I went in, I was like, don't buy anything. You don't have to buy anything. You honestly don't even need to do this workout with them. You know? I didn't have to do anything, actually. Yeah. And then I bought something, and I got in the car, and I was like, well, is it the same as F45? And when I saw it was more, I was like, don't tell Obi, don't tell Brandon, don't tell Kelsey. Tells Obi immediately, sees Brandon, tells Brandon immediately. I'm like, I didn't want to tell Kelsey.
I'm about to blast you in the group chat and be like, guess what Maggie did.
I mean, it will be helpful, I think, maybe to just start a habit. And then I can cancel it in a couple weeks. Because it's personalized. So it's a little more, I don't know if it's worth the price. We'll see. But it's a little more like individualized. But I definitely walked in and I was like, this is dumb. And then I got home and I was like, Obi, I'm stupid. I bought something. He's like, what? Why? You didn't have to. Like, you could have said no.
You're like, what's that? Oh my gosh.
What's the answer? No. I don't know that word.
Wow.
And they were also really nice.
As are the coaches, to which she left.
She was like, the girl was like, I specialize in a bunch of other things I don't need. But I was like, wow, she's like certified. And then the guy was like, yeah, I just had a baby and I just got a promotion. I was like, these are great.
Not they hit you with the sob stories. He's like, I'm a new father. I really could use some money.
And honestly, I really didn't think it was going to be that much. But granted, again, I didn't ask first. I was just like, yes, I never ask the price of things. I'm just like, yes, I will do the thing. And the first month was like low-key free.
Oh, well, that's something.
Yeah. At
least. You saved for a month.
On Saturday, I'll find out how I can cancel it. Maybe I'll do it for like 2 months or something.
Okay.
We'll see. So I'm not saved money to spend more money.
Look, if this is your journey and you end up liking it more, then maybe it's meant to be. And what?
You're being so supportive.
Oh, I thought you heard something outside.
Brandon's being so supportive. I'm not used to this.
Well,
I'm used to the peer pressure to be like, no, come back to F45. Why'd you cancel? You abandoned me. This was the discussion when I was canceling.
Every now and then.
Thank you for saying that. I'm dead ass. I appreciate it.
Of course. You know, because maybe it'll work more with you. But if it doesn't,
then I know where to go.
You know where home is.
Yeah, because I was like, ChatGPT made all these workouts for me, but maybe this girl will give me better ones. Honestly, I just think I need a little accountability. Like, okay, I'm going to go. And then they have like how we have an InBody scale. They have their own version. They have like an app. I was like, maybe she can just help me stay on track for a couple weeks and then I can be done with it.
True. Try it out and see.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for supporting me, Brandon.
Of course. Is it hilarious? Yes.
The irony.
Still will
tell Kelsey
support.
for me. I was like, this is. I can't tell these people. I can't hold water, man. I could never go on Big Brother. What alliance are you in? I'm in this one. The name is this. We founded it on
this is
day.
why you should go on.
Because that would be fun
You'll be
to watch.
infamous.
Taryn would chew me up.
No, we've talked about on the pod before Maggie wanting to go on Big Brother. I think it would be hilarious. I think Maggie would be like likable.
I think so.
I think
I'm not gonna be in the I'm not gonna be in the main alliance, but I think people.
I think you could. Okay.
Really?
Well,
Brandon, it's all like basically all of the models of the house will team up.
I think there's 3 options.
White models,
for
actually.
There's 3 options for how your journey would go. 1, you'd spiral.
Yes.
And then you'd like
That would be very.
leave early, and they'll be like, "We'll let her go." 2,
I don't know if I would leave early. I think I might.
or you just if the spiral.
The spiral would lead to my eviction.
Lead to eviction, parenthesis, or she just route out all the alliances and they'll get rid of her.
Yeah.
Because she's spiraling. 2, you are so likable, people would want to vote for you at the end, so they'll get rid of you early.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And 3, you would go G.I. Jane and lock the fuck in and pull out a win.
Yes.
You'd suddenly become a new person.
The whole like don't spiral thing, I don't know. Cause like I don't know if I could take not being liked. You know? They're mean as hell on Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like it basically is like high school all over again. And
It
I
is.
already know, like, unless it's like a season that's cast like Cerise, where it was like, I mean, even honestly, the last 2 seasons were pretty cool. Like, I feel like they had a good diversity of people and it wasn't just models hanging out with each other. But I'm just like, I don't know if I can handle that. And also, I don't know if I can handle losing.
You couldn't.
I couldn't. I would be kept up all night for the rest of my life, like, ugh. And then I couldn't handle, I don't think I would trust CBS to give me a good edit. Because they tend to not.
Yeah, they're like...
Unless you make it pretty far and stuff.
they're iffy because they'll either not show you or then show you all of a sudden.
Yeah, like out of the blue.
Yeah.
So the live feeders would know, but I'm like, on the show, would y'all show me right?
Yeah, it's like with Izzy, while she was barely on the show, but she was all over the live feeds.
And everybody loved
season.
her. Yes, exactly. I feel like that would happen to me. Like, I'm playing up a storm, but
sometimes
nobody knows.
that's better.
Yeah, because because you don't. Yeah, I mean, because then it's like, okay, well, then you kind of get to go back into your life and be a little incognito.
Yeah, I feel like the live shows are the shows are for like the Facebook moms that want to be mad, but then the live feeds are for like the Twitter people and like Rob has a podcast.
Yeah.
So I think, and then you can get invited on Rob has a podcast to give your commentary.
And then I could be like, Rob, we have a podcast. Add us to your platform.
About the shade of it all. Maggie and her beautiful co-host, Brandon.
Fresh haircut monthly. Also, I don't think people talk about what happens after. Like, people can get stalked afterwards.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. And also just, I think, like, PTSD from it.
Yeah.
And, like, all that. And just a lot going on.
Did I tell you about the guy from Derek and Frankie's season?
Oh, yeah, that Zach guy.
Yeah, like, it's been, I want to say 10 years, and someone is still, like, harassing him every day.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
crazy.
Just like, so I'm like, do I think I like my privacy. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, do
That's
I need,
a lot.
I don't want to get stopped.
Right. Like, CBS won't protect me for anything.
Well, I don't know. Networks these days.
Yeah.
Speaking of networks, Bravo. So this is the final episode of Summer House of the season.
This is the end.
Close your eyes and count to 10. Technically, there's like a never before seen scenes one next week,
Yeah, I
but
was like, are we going to watch it?
we got to jump into Love
We
Island.
got stuff to do.
We got things to do. Maybe we'll
booked and
mention it on
busy,
some
honey.
episode. But,
Yeah.
but this was part 2 of the reunion.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what are we thinking?
It was like another 7.5. I felt, because it was just like, I'm so confused. I feel like they didn't go over a lot of the season, And then they went over things that they didn't show. And then it's like, because I've heard some people say, why are these people not showing their lives? It seems like they are showing their lives. They're just not showing it. Like the Kyle and Amanda having that conversation.
Yeah.
Why didn't we see that? All season, the narrative was, oh, they're getting along. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, and they had like this huge thing where it was like a bad fight and Amanda had one foot out the door.
Yeah.
And we're just now learning about this
out the door
at the reunion.
Is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just like, we focus so much on Lexi and Jesse, only to not really see that much.
Yeah.
Not really come to a resolution.
Yep.
I like, it was just
She's like, no, I don't like him.
Right.
And he's like, all right, Paige. And I'm like, wait, what? That's it.
And then even like, I don't know. And then there was a couple times where I was like, are they going to announce that someone's leaving? And then they didn't, but they kind of almost alluded. Like today we got sad news. Paige DeSorbo is not coming back to Summer House, which people saw coming because she doesn't need the show and it's far above the show now. But it still is sad nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice for her to like be on the 10th season that's going to come up, but I get why she doesn't want to be on it anymore. I think she didn't even really like being on it anymore.
Yeah.
So it all makes sense.
She's busy too.
Yeah. Like she's got stuff to do. But then I'm like, okay, so what's next season going to look like? Like, I feel like they're going to bring back most of this cast, but then in this episode, Lindsay's like, oh, I'm going to try to be in the Hamptons every now and then.
Yeah, so she's not even confirmed.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I feel like Amanda and Sierra will come back. Definitely Jesse and West. Kyle, Carl. I don't know. There's a rumor that Gabby, Emerald, and Lexi aren't going to come back.
And Lexi?
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. That's why I'm on the
Lexi.
fence with Lexi because I feel like she could. I think she should. She brought a lot to the season.
Yeah.
But then it's also, I could see her not because it's like, it doesn't seem like she has that many authentic relationships with people. Maybe they could bring a friend of hers, but not her sister, hopefully.
LOL, please. No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
So I could go either way with that. And like Gabby, like they let Emerald leave early. Gabby could have left early.
I don't understand that. That made no sense.
It made no sense. And I like Gabby, but I'm like, what was she like?
I guess Emerald was... I mean, maybe he didn't get enough screen time to be able to sit on stage and contribute.
I guess, but I feel like he got more than Gabby. And was part of the big storyline of Toegate.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I didn't think about that.
So it's just kind of like...
I mean, she was there, though. Like, there was, like, a couple episodes where we didn't see him at all. And then the one where they cut him out.
They did do that. But I think even in that one, weird. Gabby showed up late that episode. Like, at the end. Like, the beach thing.
But she's not new like him.
That's true. But it's like...
Yeah, I don't
it's just confusing. I don't understand these choices.
I agree. I get the Kyle and Amanda thing. Right? That's their names. I don't know why I'm blanking. Like Kyle, I get the Kyle and Amanda thing but maybe it didn't contribute to the bigger storyline. They've got a story to tell and they're telling it however they want to or like however I guess it flows the best. So maybe since they were amicable pretty much for the rest of the summer, there wasn't because really all that happened I think was like, oh Kyle, you turn your music on, I'm sleeping. Yeah. Kyle, you're being loud, I'm sleeping. That was pretty much it for them. And then the lover boy thing with Paige.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why, but yeah, this reunion was weird. I was like, I don't mind these conversations, but I feel like we could have spent a little more time on Jesse and Lexi at least. Yeah. Since that was the main storyline of the whole summer. Right. Maybe they don't care anymore because they're not together.
I guess, and because the relationship was so short, they're like, okay, like we're gonna keep talking about this. It's like, well, y'all made that the whole season, right? Don't gaslight us into thinking like you're over it, right? You made it the show.
I didn't finish watching the season 8 reunion. Did they talk about Sierra and West in both parts? Because it seemed like part 1 they had a lot to say.
Part 1 they said a lot and it ended with them, and then they talked a little at the beginning of part 2.
So basically the same thing that happened here.
It was kind of, but it was very like it was more impactful.
Yeah.
Because it felt real.
Yeah, because this isn't, unfortunately, because Lexi opened her mouth, it's a conversation between you, Sierra, and Jesse instead of just you and Jesse. Granted, I think maybe Andy could have just asked them to talk about things specific to them.
Yeah.
But
he seemed over it because
he did. He was like, I'm moving. I think he said, I'm moving on.
Yeah, because the episode starts, they're still talking about birthday gate. Lexi's like, I didn't mean to like put you in it and all that. And she's like, well, you did.
That was stupid too.
And like we've talked about, it's like she lied about the day, and then it was just weird how she brought it up. She clearly was trying to like come at both of them, but now she's trying to act like it was just Jesse, and it is what it is.
That's what it started with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to just get into it?
Yeah.
So we're unhashed. We're still talking about birthday gate, and Lexi is essentially like, Sierra's like, why in your press did you bring me up? They show the clip again, and she's like, well, that wasn't directed at you, that was directed at Jesse. She's like, Jesse, guys, Jesse is pitting us all against each other. This is about him and all this stuff. And in my head, I'm like, I get what she's saying, but you're not taking accountability for the fact that you put Sierra in it.
Yeah.
Like, where did the dating things come from? How are you? Yeah. And then I think she said that, I guess Jesse online was making it seem like they were dating.
Yeah, because I guess he was like liking comments, shipping them, and he had posted the story.
Lexi, how much time do you... Brandon, if you ever catch me trying to find what someone liked on social media... You have to look for that.
Yeah, and maybe she's being sent it. I don't know. But it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, I get it, but I'm also over it.
I mean,
I'm
okay.
like,
she is on a show where her relationship is a topic of discussion. So maybe you do read comments and see stuff, but
yeah.
I don't know. Because I feel like they already established that Jesse likes to do that on social media. He likes to be flirtatious and comment on the girl stuff. And like, so like, maybe that was just still him doing that.
Yeah. I think he likes the attention and all that. And I think he's using Sierra for attention. And I want Sierra to actually realize that. Because there's that one point where Sierra's like, he's like, you're making me look like a master manipulator. And Sierra's like, he's not smart enough. And Lexi's like, he's smarter than y'all think. And I'm like, yeah. I don't know if he's smarter than they think, but he might be more intentional. Yeah. Because I don't know if he's smart. But regardless, I do want Sierra to be like, yes, Sierra. So like, I mean, she's just like, it doesn't seem like they're the closest friends. It seems like they just like hang out and like have fun together. Mm-hmm. But I want her to realize, hey, maybe he's not like the best guy. Like, don't be his friend like that. Like, yeah. I get it. But I'm also like, just keep him arm's length, you know?
Yeah. Especially after he kind of like made the season weird for her. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have a friendship, so I guess it wasn't that deep, like the whole, like, oh, don't touch me thing and all that. But I get what you're saying. Maybe she should keep her distance. And I wish that they spent more time on this, because I kind of wanted Lexi to say, why is he manipulative? Like, why are you saying that? Because I wonder if they had conversations where he's like, no, don't trust the girls. And maybe, like, her interpretation is way more serious than he's saying. Yeah. Or maybe it is because we have seen this guy literally say stuff and be like, I didn't mean it like that. Yeah. So I believe her. I bet he did say things that were confusing, that made her feel like, okay, I shouldn't trust this person. I shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. I'm sure he did and is taking it back.
I will say, though, and this is where I'm a little like Lexi, because he said, don't trust the girls. They don't want to see us together or something. Mm-hmm. I want to ask, when did he say that? Did he say that towards the end of the summer at the Snooze Fest party? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I can see that. And yes, fucked up. But that means there was also 4 or 5 weeks prior to that where you still weren't friends with them. And maybe he didn't say that. Yeah. So...
Or it came after him realizing, oh, they're telling her things I said. Yeah. They're misconstruing it. So then maybe at that point he's like, don't trust the girls. We really should, Andy, I'm sorry. We really should have asked. You should have asked about that.
Right. Like that should have been a question. Because Paige kind of tried to like get into it. Like, did he say not to like us? Or did he say all this? And then that's when he said not to trust. And then Paige is like, he basically tried to big dog you. Like, oh, this is his second season. This is your first. Like, I know more. All this. And then Amanda's like, I wish you would have like asked me. Like, because like I would have tried to help you out. She's like, I just didn't feel comfortable. Well,
she asked them, or she said to them that I wish you would have, or Paige, I think, says, it's not like we didn't like you, Lexi.
Yeah.
And then Amanda's like, yeah, I wish you told us you felt like that. And she kind of did on the like last episode when they were all together. And she's like, I wish I could be friends with you guys. I really want to blah, blah, blah. And then I think they were like, yeah, you know. So,
right. We thought you were just in love. But like, okay.
Yeah, but we've been giving you advice all summer. And so maybe she just felt like, maybe her feeling isolated is really just her maybe wanting to have used her time better. Yeah. But they were just like, we don't dislike you, Lexi. And she was like, it feels like it. And I feel isolated. And I'm like, I think that's a personal problem.
It might be a little bit.
A little bit.
Because as she said before, she used to say girls just didn't like her because she was like a model.
I don't think that applies in this situation. Maybe it has. I get girls can be mean. I get it.
If there's anyone to hate because they're a model, it's Sierra. If anyone's gonna actually hate on someone because they're so jealous because she's like beautiful and all that, and now look, Lexi, you're beautiful, you're great, model, but Sierra's ethereal. She's like another world. And everyone likes her.
Yeah. No, that's just what makes me think like we're missing something. Like, really, Lexi, why did you feel so isolated and like the girls didn't like you and stuff? Where did that come from? Because we only saw them giving you advice, helping you out, and then you were pretty cool with Lindsay and Gabby. So I don't know. I think that she had qualms, but like just didn't stand on it. Because before last episode, she was like, well, Paige and Amanda. Well, it was just Amanda, I think. Or it was just Paige. And then like you're trying to call them out. But in this scene, you're like, but I wish we were friends. Like, which one is it? Do you like them? Do you not? Are you upset with them? Are you happy with them? Like, I can't tell.
I think maybe their personalities just don't mesh. Like maybe, and it's not a hatred, but it's like they're not going to be close. And I think that's fine.
Yeah, like,
I don't know.
You walked into a house that kind of has cliques already. Yeah. And you didn't get acclimated to one because you were busy. Yeah. You know? But
it is what it is.
Yeah, I just was like, Alexi, I don't really get why you're upset. Yeah. But I believe her. Like, I felt like when she was like, oh, Jesse says whatever, and they just laugh it off. I'm sure there was more there, and I wish I could have heard it.
Yeah, there needed to be more of a deep dive. Yeah. Because then they cut for break, and then she tries to apologize to Sierra. Let's role play. You be Lexi.
I didn't think it was that deep. But I'll be Lexi because I remember she's like... she's like leaning all the way over because somebody got up in between them. Sierra, I really just want you to know, like, I did not mean to bring you into my press. Like, totally. I was just like, I sincerely apologize. I wasn't making it about you. I was making it about Jesse because Jesse is like tearing us all apart. He's a super manipulative guy. Like, I just want you to know, like, I didn't, like, it wasn't personal. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like, you should have known I didn't want to date Jesse. Can y'all fix my makeup here?
No, that's not what happened. Because I think she accepted it.
And that's no hate. She did accept it. She just wasn't really, like, meeting her where she was at. Which
really?
I don't hate on that. I get it. She's just like, girl, like, oh, thanks.
I didn't see it like that.
I don't think it was just... like, a diss, but I just don't think she was like, yes, girl, like, let's, like... be friends.
She was a little nonchalant about it because what did she say? She was like, she said something like, I get it, like you were asked a question, or she said something to the effect
she said something
of like,
no, I get it, it's fine.
Yeah,
it wasn't a complete, but it was just kind of funny because Lexi wanted like an eye contact moment, and Sierra was just like, okay,
really?
Like, we're fine.
I didn't see it like that, but I feel you. I see how you saw it that way.
I don't think it was like crazy, but it was just kind of, because here's the thing, Sierra's kind of like a nonchalant person in general, so that's just her.
Yeah,
but it's just funny because when Sierra calls someone to help her with makeup or the bike, then Lexi just turns and cries to Gabby. I think she's frustrated with Jesse and everything, but probably feels like maybe her and Sierra aren't good because of it. And it's just like, well, you kind of did that.
I thought she was crying because it was just a frustrating situation. She's trying to talk, and then Andy's like, we have to move on. Like,
yeah, because by the end of the birthday, he's like, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think but yeah, and I bet she felt caught off. I guess in her mind, she really didn't say anything bad about Sierra, which is crazy. Yeah, I think she was just frustrated with the whole situation. Like, I'm mad at Jesse, but I guess I've made a lot of other people mad in the process. Like, nobody is seeing it from my perspective. Granted, I do think she was wrong on most counts. Yeah. So maybe that was what the tear was like. Oh, Amanda said, well, no, she didn't. But Jesse said, well, no, he didn't. My birthday. It's like,
yeah, I think it was just a frustration of maybe she is realizing she's a part of the issue. And then just like maybe like things just didn't go as she expected. But
and it sucks when you're mad about something and nobody can validate your feelings. But what I've learned recently is just because we feel something doesn't mean it's right.
This is true.
That's not our take.
Which, I mean, look, Jesse does suck, but I mean, I don't think he is the sole reason why you didn't get along or make close relations with the other people in the house.
Yeah, I don't think he's solely responsible. Let's find there's plenty of other things that he is responsible for that we could be talking about right now.
Yes.
But they just kind of move on, and Jesse kind of gets off scot-free. Like,
he does. He's like, oh, she's just projecting. Everything she's saying is what she did and how she feels. And I'm like, probably it's both. Here's the thing, y'all are Spider-Man.
No, for real, you're pointing at each other.
But okay, so next is Lindsay next.
I think so. Yeah, I think they switched to Lindsay and Carl.
Oh yeah, they say goodbye to Emerald, which made no sense, but okay.
Bye, Emerald.
But then they talk about Lindsay and she was pregnant this her big storyline this season. Not me calling her big at all. She was pregnant. But she was pregnant and like dealing with being with Carl in the house and all that. And then they ask about Turner. And they're like, what's the status? And she's like, so we haven't been romantically together for quite some time now.
Yeah.
So basically when the news dropped before the season started, it was true. Because right as the season was premiering, it was like, they're not together anymore.
Yeah.
And then she confirmed at the premiere party they weren't together.
Yeah.
So basically they're just like co-parenting and they seem to get along.
It seems super healthy. I was like, okay, yeah, I get that, in a maybe people were expecting you to be with him. But I guess I don't care. It sounds like you have a healthy co-parenting relationship, and I think that's really awesome. She was like, yeah, like we'll go out together. We'll have, we'll get brunch or something. Sometimes he stays over. We're not intimate. But he's just a great dad to Gemma.
Yes. Gemma came during the lunch break.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they talk about it more later, but we're talking about Lindsay now.
Yeah.
Kyle held her and it was cute.
It was adorable. I was like,
yeah.
Kyle.
And they were like, Carl, did you meet the baby? And he's like, from distance. I was like, hi.
And they show him and he's just like stiff, staring.
And Paige is like, Gemma said, fuck off.
Man, poor Carl. I can't imagine how. Can you imagine, Brandon?
No.
Your ex has moved on and they have a baby, and babies are sweet and innocent, but in this situation, it's just really awkward.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. I mean, he wasn't even in the room. I don't think I would have gone in the same room as Gemma if I could have helped it.
No.
But anyway.
It's such an awkward situation. But, he dealt with it well.
Yeah. But she seems fine with not being with him. And they're having a healthy co-parenting relationship, which I think is great. Like, it doesn't... I was like, that's really awesome that you guys are, like, cool with each other. And you're just we're going to take care of the baby.
I'm like, good for you, Lindsay. I'm happy for you. And then they kind of get to Carl because they talk about the weekend of his brother passing, which was Lindsay's birthday weekend, how he was emotional because he missed the friendship. And then he's like, yeah, she was someone who was really close to me and all this. And like, yeah, I just really appreciate the friendship. And they're like, Lindsay, how do you feel about that? And she's like, I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and I don't think they ever will be.
No.
Because there was like Instagram drama. Because apparently at the reunion, they didn't get the last few episodes. They only saw like clips of the last few. So she didn't see when Carl said that like she is just embarrassed by what he did. So then she made like this long Instagram thing like, embarrassed is the wrong word. And how dare you? And this is why we will never be friends. You humiliated me. And all this, and it's just like, okay, so that was that's short-lived.
Yeah.
That thought.
Yeah. I mean, like, I appreciate. I was like, I don't know if Carl's crying about this or if he's crying about his brother, because they were both heavy topics brought up at the same time.
It's probably
where
both.
he just felt emotional. Yeah. But I was like, friendship is crazy, Carl, because all you've done is like low-key dogged her like all summer. Because wait, something else happened related to this, and I just had it on my head, and it's gone.
Was it the one time Gabby got a question?
Oh no, it was him telling the Lil or whatever that she conceived the baby in his bed.
That was weird, because Lindsay was like, I didn't like that you said that.
Why would he say that?
Because
I don't remember that. Do you?
I didn't, and I remember after we filmed the episode, someone mentioned it recapping. I was just like, I blocked that out, and we didn't talk about it, so I was just like, oops.
I mean, it was like a conversation in passing. I think it was probably like in between party scenes. They show him saying that, and I'm like, why would he say that?
I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Yes.
It's definitely a weird comment, but he did apologize, which was nice at least.
Yeah.
He like owned it and was just like, my bad. So.
I didn't even realize he was being that, like, that's kind of like below the belt shady.
Yeah. And also, like, why are you saying that?
So I guess, Carl, just as much as Lindsay is keeping you part of her story, you're definitely part of hers.
Right. They both got stuff to say.
Yeah.
So. But then at one point they bring up, because Gabby had talked shit about Carl in the beginning and said he brings nothing to the party because he has non-alc lover boy, he has big teeth, and he's not going to flirt with girls. And Carl's like, you know, it was fine. She like texted me and like apologized. And she's like, yeah, I just said it to make Lindsay feel better and like talk shit about her ex. And he's like, yeah, the thing that hurt me the most, I think, was the teeth thing. Because like I have a long journey with my teeth, and like I used to have yellow teeth, and then like my first season I was always made fun of it for it. And then I like brushed my teeth with a comb, and then all this, and like my teeth looked fucking terrible this summer, but like now I fixed them and they like look good, and it's like fine. But like, yeah. So then.
And then he didn't brush his teeth with a comb. He brushed his teeth with a brush.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. So the teeth thing made me feel sad for Carl, because I was like, oh, you know, like you don't know what someone. I've never noticed his teeth. Was that like a real thing?
I remember people would say like his teeth, but I don't think I ever noticed, because I think it was just one tooth.
Yeah.
And maybe it was in the earlier seasons I didn't watch. I don't know. Carl looks though completely different than he did in the first few seasons.
Okay.
So it's I don't know. It's something I never really noticed, and I noticed teeth.
Yeah.
So, but I did notice the new ones.
It just made me like be like, dang, like sometimes we just like hit something that we don't really know is an insecurity for somebody else, and then it's like, I kind of feel bad.
Like, fuck, I didn't need to do all this. I just knew you got veneers.
Shit, I only got 30 minutes this season. I didn't even say that much, but they had to show me saying that.
Just one time. They just had to show that scene.
I was like, oh, Carl, your teeth look fine.
They look a lot better now, so good for you, Carl. And they didn't talk that much about Sapphire.
No.
Which kind of sucks.
Oh, well, it's not open yet, so maybe that's why.
Season 10, y'all.
The update is the same update as the previous update.
Yeah.
Is this sandwich tasting is the same as the last sandwich tasting.
This is very something about her coded, although
they opened. So
they did open, and I don't know if Softbar will have the same success. I hope it at least has some success. But they were also, Ariana and Katie were smart about it. They got a small space. It's sandwiches.
Brandon, I saw on TikTok, we're not the only ones who thought it should be a truck.
Look, it's
go listen back to whichever episode that was. But we were like, this is how you should have did it, Carl.
Mobile mocktails.
But hey, he's got money. He can figure it out.
He will, and he has that good guy clause, or whatever the fuck. Okay, next I think is when we get into Kyle and Amanda.
Yeah.
They talk about how they got along this season.
Yeah, and they were like, Kyle said he spent more time like discussing issues with her and stuff. And I'm like, this is actually like really good. It seemed like they made a lot of progress.
I'm so like on team divorce though.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I'm like, she doesn't like him at least. And I don't think he likes her based off the past. Because it's like, oh, she talks about how they had the talk that we didn't see.
Yeah.
Where it's like she basically had one foot out the door, and then it cuts to her saying, like, you keep doing the one thing that you know hurts me, and then you wonder why I'm upset and all this. And he looks shocked like he does every time she tells him the same thing.
He was just like...
What do you mean?
For real, really, girl. Like his face was just so indignant, like the gall of her, and it's like, yeah, man. It's annoying repeating yourself.
Kyle's funny. And then it's just like
they start talking about the baby stuff.
Yeah, they talk about the baby stuff, and he's all like, we've like kind of talked about, and it's just like we do want it at some point, and like I'm working so that we can build a family. And she's like, well, there won't be a family if you keep working.
Yeah.
And then he starts to talk, and she's like, the thing about Kyle is he's gone every weekend because he's always DJing, and then he's always working. Then he wakes up at 5 a.m. to work out, and then he comes home when I cook dinner, and then he eats, and he goes back to work more, and then I never see him. And if you don't prioritize us, make us feel like a family, it's not going to be a family. And everyone's just like,
facts though. I don't understand how he was still confused after that, because he's like, but you don't want to have kids, and she's like, I don't want to have kids with someone who's not ready to have kids with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, facts, because the way your schedule is, you're not gonna see me or the baby.
Right.
We barely see each other as it is.
Yeah. And like some people online were saying that like he wants her to have the kid and take care of it.
He's like, I don't know why having a baby like means I should work less.
I'm not understanding the correlation between these two things.
Because later he's like, we both said yes to like everything in our, and I'm like, I get it. Sees the opportunities, you know what I mean? That's what motivates you. But like, it really feels like they don't spend time together. So maybe that's why they're not even arguing.
No, exactly. Because when she said, they're like, oh, when you want to have kids or something like that, she's like, I'm just looking out for me. I'm just doing what I want to do. And I'm just like, you guys are basically existing as single people who are technically married.
Yeah.
Which, not to say I'm single, so I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, like, y'all are talking about how much happy you are right now. So I want you guys to think about that. You're happier now because you're not spending time together and you're doing things for yourself. Mm-hmm. So, and you're only not happy when you're spending too much time together and you're trying to make it work.
Is that why they're not happy? They're not happy. Is that true?
They're fighting every other time, but now the one time they're like not seeing each other and doing stuff for them, it's, oh, we're the best place ever. What does that, what is the difference? Just saying. Maybe divorce should happen. Just saying.
Yeah.
But anyways.
They didn't even touch on Passion Project.
No.
I was like, I would have liked to hear that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Because later on, Sierra's like, but like, do you guys still like spend quality time together and like prioritize each other? And they're like, no. So I get what you mean. I guess in my head, I'm just like, everybody's relationship is different. And I don't know the ins and outs of anything that goes on. So I don't know you guys from a can of paint. I only get to see you for however many minutes you were on the screen. Yeah. Especially since I haven't even watched the other seasons. So like, if you both are cool with like being busy people who are just like a power couple and super busy and they do stuff together and like you kind of have your own thing and you like that, then do that. But it doesn't seem like Amanda likes it.
No, but I also think with Amanda, she's very comfortable being unhappy. And I want Amanda to be comfortable being happy. Yeah. And I just don't think she's happy with Kyle. Because
I think she did take time to make herself happy. Because last season, Sierra was like, who are you apart from him? And so she's like, okay, I do want to be my own person and stuff. And like they mentioned that something about like her mental health.
Yeah.
Was it just depression?
I think it was depression, and like she said, it was something that runs in her family and all that. So she's able to like really like get that better. And I think she took some medication as well, which is good. Like she seemed happier than ever, which is good. I'm very happy for her. But
yeah, I wanted to ask you what your take was, because I'm curious if like it seems like Kyle is very much like a hands-off person, like I like to do what I want kind of thing. But do you think her conventional partner is somebody who like they get to have dinner together and like go and do stuff together? Like, does she want a partner who's like always there?
I don't know. She's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
I think she wants someone who just like I don't know, that will like be there for her. Maybe you don't have to be together all the time, but like at least makes her feel like a priority.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Kyle does a lot of the time.
Yeah. No, it's important to like vocalize what you want. But I love that she was explaining that this way. And that also made me concerned because I'm like, how does he not know that already? Or maybe he, you tell people things and they just don't listen. Maybe he's not listening.
He seems shocked every time she speaks.
He's like, you want to have a baby with someone who wants to have a baby with you?
What does that mean?
Because I want to have a baby. But she's just not ready. Like, that's how they
She's not ready. What I'm hearing, she's not ready. It's like...
She said not, and then she said ready.
Said on some podcasts, like, she just doesn't want to have a baby with him.
Yeah.
But she's not ready to accept that yet.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe that goes back to your point before. Maybe she knows she's not at peace with this relationship, and she's ready for it to be done.
Yeah.
Man, it's sad, but, like, it was cool to see them happy, because I did see a bunch of clips of them very unhappy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it kind of gets to a point where you just stop caring.
Yeah.
And that's not a good sign either. Like, I remember the clip of her pissed in the bathroom breaking stuff because he was out all night.
Yeah.
But now she just sleeps through the night. So either, like, she's just like, I don't care anymore. Or, like, okay, I get it. He's out with his friends. I'm not going to worry about it. But, like, maybe he was doing that every day. He wasn't out as much, but this time.
Yeah, I think he got better about that. But I think they even said, like, after the season that he's still, like, going out and, like, busy. And, like, what she said at this reunion, he's still out doing things or, like, never around. So.
That's sad.
I don't know. Hopefully they come to a happier solution. A lot of people thought that maybe she was pregnant and that was going to be the announcement. Because Jesse said there was going to be some announcement. And I think... what he was referring to was maybe Lindsay and Turner.
Jesse is not a reliable narrator.
No.
I would never sit on anything this man is waiting to tell us.
Not at all. So, yeah. And then I was curious. I was like, what are they going to say with Amanda? Because she was on the final Watch What Happens Live. Nothing.
Oh, did she say anything on Watch the Show?
Not that I saw. And I saw nothing like reported. I didn't watch the after show, but the episode at least, she didn't really say anything crazy. So... I don't know, but that was kind of Kyle and Amanda's journey.
Does she make swim trunks? We should buy her stuff for the Love Island thing. Oh, isn't it expensive, though?
It's fucking expensive.
$200 bikini.
I was about to say.
Oh, and they don't make them for big girls, right? I might be considered a big girl in this case.
I don't know what, because her last drop is just in store, and then it drops online the 10th or something. So we can check.
Okay.
But the last one was expensive. But also, shout out to Paige, her
Daphne!
pajama line, Daphne.
Oh, it's pajamas.
It's also her cat's name, but they named it Daphne.
I was wondering if it was off of the cat, because I saw the cat at the end. I haven't dug. Once I saw her Instagram post, I went through her thing and I was like, these are cute.
Right. I was like, oh, these are kind of cute. I hope these aren't too expensive, or they're probably a little expensive. Everything's expensive these days. But
I want to look it up.
I was like, these look fun.
Oh, Brandon, we'd look so cute in some matching Daphne pajamas.
We would.
I feel like wearing pajamas that match and are cute, you sleep better. Like, going to sleep cute, I think you sleep better.
You're just happier, you're cuter, and you're just like, this is me.
Look at me in my fit. You know when you get a new outfit, you're like, ooh, I look good.
Yes, I agree. If it doesn't break the bank, and if we get enough Patreon subs.
Hey, wink, wink, nod, nod.
We invested all in Daphne. So they transition then to the Loverboy Spritz drama.
Yes.
That great drama that took up half the season, it felt like. And basically, they ask Paige if she regrets defending Craig. And she says, no, he's my boyfriend, so I'm going to, defend him. But she does feel like, I don't know if we're ever going to know the truth, because I don't think what he told me was true, and I don't think he understood a lot of the business stuff. And And then Kyle was like, yeah, that's why I never brought it up to Paige, because he was texting me stuff like, oh, I'm going to think about it. And then like, oh, no, I'm actually doing it. And like, oh, no, I was voted 2-3 or 2-1, like outvoted. Yeah. And like saying all the stuff that didn't make sense.
And while I was watching this, I was like, why did I care about this? I cared about it because you dragged Paige into it.
Yes.
Now that that's not what we're talking about, I don't really care about any of this discussion.
Right.
I mean, like, I get it, you were mad and stuff, but I'm just like, I still feel like Kyle kind of threw a fit and was just like, no, you're my friend and you can't be their friend, and you're my friend, you can't do that. Brandon, you can only listen to this podcast, and since we're neighbors, you can only hang out. Like, that's crazy.
It is. It was funny though, because it was like one of his reasons was, Craig was, I didn't know you did spritzes. I thought you just did teas. And then the flavor of his spritz was an iced tea flavor. And then Kyle just goes, I can't believe this guy. And Sierra's like, that was the whitest shit I've ever seen. Just him going like, I can't believe this. It was just a moment of silence and people laughing. I'm like, this is crazy.
No, the way nobody on the couch interjected, because nobody cares.
Right. They're just like, whatever, Kyle.
It's like Brantley at the party being like, I'm going to call my dad.
Yeah, it was very Brantley coded.
But yeah, I was like, okay, he probably lied. He probably did lie. And...
he's a liar, which brings us to, they ask Paige, Kyle admitted that Craig was kicked out. Are you ready? Like, you denied he was kicked out of Kyle and Amanda's wedding.
Yeah.
Or were you ready to speak on it? And she's like, so, yes, the whole thing is he was asked not to come back.
Wait, so she said she lied before and said he didn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, her thing, because people were like, why was she mad at Danielle and Lindsay if it's true? And she made it clear. She was like, the thing was, I was never mad at Danielle because what she's saying was untrue. It was, we're a cast and we're supposed to be friends. Why are you leaking stories about me?
She knew she was going to get fired and she needed some money.
Right. And it was like valid. And that's what I always thought too. I was like, regardless if it's true, I think she's more annoyed that someone in the cast is leaking stories about them.
Isn't that against their contract?
It was juicy, so that's why I did it.
Yeah.
But Paige is basically like, he literally got kicked out. He was kicking chairs. He was doing all this. The next morning, I told him he needs to text an apology to Mr. and Mrs. Batula, and he wouldn't. And I was mortified. And Amanda said that Paige texted them instead and like apologized, I guess, on his behalf. And she was like, he was an entitled brat during the wedding. And I was like, damn, good to know the truth.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been my cue to be like, wait, you're dead wrong and you can't even say sorry?
Right.
So you're never going to say sorry to me. But I was also curious. I was like, I feel like I need the backstory. Like, did this take up the season of their wedding? Like, or
I don't.
Why was it such a conversation? Just because he claimed he didn't get kicked out?
I think because someone did there was an article that was put out and was talked about online. And then at one reunion, Paige accused Lindsay and Carl of leaking the story. And then the next season found out it was Danielle.
Oh.
So, but Danielle didn't say anything when she accused Lindsay. She let Lindsay take the fall.
I see.
But Danielle's such a good friend.
We know that's
and people try to flip it on Lindsay, like, Lindsay ratted Danielle out. Who would do that to a friend? It's like, Danielle made her take the blame. Like, what are we saying?
I'm not going down for you. I'm not going down with this ship.
Right.
I didn't ask to be here.
Yeah. And so then they ask Paige more about the breakup. And she says how they spent Thanksgiving together, and then that Sunday she broke up with him. And then December 10th, when he was on Watch What Happens Live and lied and said they were still together, they had like the in-person talk. And then she like, it's like we're done, like I said. And then
it's like 3 or 4 weeks later.
Yeah, like New Year's Eve, she released the Giggly Squad episode announcing it because she was getting pictures of him in Aspen at bars and with girls. And she was just like, look, I don't want people to think he's like cheating or anything. Let me like put this to bed. And then so she made the announcement. And then she said too, because the topic gets brought up about there was cheating rumors and they were annoyed that Craig didn't deny them.
Yeah.
And she was just like, look, exes don't owe each other anything, but we're in a different situation where it's kind of like we're public figures and it's a reputation. So like he could have just said no when asked and then also like not lean into like I left him for somebody when I didn't.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't why we broke up.
No, he wanted to spin the story so people would feel bad for him.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to, he took advantage of the, she said he took advantage of the opportunity to make it, to say that she broke up with him.
Yeah, because she was like, I made it so good. Like, oh, this was like a fine breakup. Like, it was amicable and like, there's no bad blood. We liked a relationship. And he's just like, I was blindsided before the holiday.
And didn't she say she saw him on the day of Watch What Happens Live, the day he went on?
Yeah, that's when they spoke and had the in-person talk about the breakup. Mm-hmm. So, and then, so basically a lot of what Craig said, shocker, was a lie. And then they asked Sierra, they're like, Sierra, did you know about like all like their issues and everything? And she's like, yes. And Paige is like, she's always at Thanksgiving. She knows about Craig. And I'm like, what was Craig doing at Thanksgiving? Like, was he acting up on Thanksgiving? Yeah. Just like all this time, like being embarrassing at the DeSorbo household? Like, what's happening?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. And so, yeah, that was pretty much it with Paige and Craig, kind of. Like, they're kind of like, and then this is where... Because they're like, Paige, you really open up this season and like goes to show like you really don't know what's happening about a relationship. Mm-hmm. And, like, it was nice to see this more vulnerable side of you. And then they were like, you've really like done all these things with your career and all this. And then Amanda's like, I always knew that she would do this. Oh, yeah. And she starts to cry. And I'm like, are they going to announce that Paige is leaving or there's a spinoff? Then he didn't say anything. Mm-mm. And then they asked Lindsay, they're like, Lindsay, what are you going to do this summer? And she's like, I'll be around the Hamptons. Like, you know, maybe not every weekend, but I'll be around and maybe I'll bring Gemma every now and then. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. And then they kind of just like, I think that was kind of it. Yeah,
they pretty much ended after that. And Kyle toast to another great summer. So they're going to come back, but it's going to be a little different. Yes. I loved that Paige does not say Craig's name anymore.
Oh, yes.
I was like, girl, so you know, like there's just things that we just do, like, ooh, yeah, like, you know, all this shit happened, but like, not like I had the last laugh, but like, this is me and my boundary. And it's a good ass boundary. I was like, she's like, I will never say his name again. I was like, I know that's right, queen.
She's like, my ex-boyfriend. And he's like, are you purposely not saying Craig? And she's like, absolutely.
I was like, I'm surprised Andy caught it because I didn't even notice. I'm like, I wonder if she mentioned it because like, how did Andy clock that?
I don't know. I think she said his name once in the first part, but it was like in the beginning. So it's like just a slip. And then she's like, never saying that shit again.
And now he's at home like, oh, I can't say her name now too.
I was like, my ex-girlfriend.
I've actually never said her name since
I'm gonna make a pillow that says my ex-girlfriend.
I've never said her middle name, but I'm definitely not gonna say her name now.
No, I never. And like, I have my new girlfriend.
Oh, is he with someone?
He's with some influencer like named Natalie or something.
Oh, okay.
I think that's her name, Nicole Natalie.
Good luck, like Natalie, Nicole.
Have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes to show too, because some people will be like, oh, Paige, like, you knew he was a liar and all this. And she was just like, look, like, I loved him and like all this. So like you have your like partner's back, and like he had asked like, what else did you lie about? And she's like, it was just kind of like small things, like either he's not that drunk or like he's just tired and like
he had a bad day, like making excuses maybe for his behavior.
And it just made her very anxious all the time, which we could see.
So people are like, so why was she with him if he was like that?
Some people like more, I would say more like the Craig fans, if he was so bad, why was she with him? Have y'all never been in a bad relationship?
That's what I'm saying. Like, people really act like their relationships are perfect. Like, no relationship is perfect. Sometimes people switch up on you, or sometimes you're so far into something that you're just like, oh dang, I didn't know it was like this. Right. And then you got to see it through to see if it could get better. What do you want her to do? Yeah. It'd be different if he was doing that day one.
Yeah.
Lexi. I mean, she broke up with him, so it's fine.
She did.
Granted, we don't know if it was like because of him or because of the show, but she did it. So
she did ultimately, and also like when people were like, "Why didn't Paige just leave him?" She did eventually. Like they weren't together that long, like 3 years. Like,
why didn't you break up with him last year? Like, come on, guys, you got the result you wanted.
Right.
Let's move on.
I don't know, but so yeah, I think that was pretty much it for the Summer House reunion.
Yeah, that was it.
And for this season. What would you rate this season on a scale of 1 to 10?
Ooh, okay, but what's a 10? Like, I couldn't stop watching.
10 is like
I
Love
loved every
Island
minute.
USA season 6. And then 1 is like, what's a bad show we watched? I don't think we've watched too bad of a show.
Mormon Wives.
Okay, but season 2 was good.
I haven't
Season 1, tough
Oh, you
watch.
finished it already?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long then.
Guess who's hosting the reunion?
Who?
Nick Vial.
What?
They hate us. I don't know why.
Wait, they didn't even have a season 1 reunion.
They didn't. Now they're having a season 2 one.
Nick Vial?
I know. They always go to his podcast to like talk about the show.
Everybody does though. That doesn't mean you. Ugh.
I hate it.
Nick.
Bad choice. But
Anyway, I would give Mormon Wives like a 5.
Okay.
So we're between 5 and 10. I'd give it like a. There were some weeks I really wanted to watch.
7.5.
Yeah, because I feel like it was like small peak and then straight back down. I was gonna say 6. I was gonna say 6.5.
6.5. Okay, I'll say 7.5 just because I love the show and the heart of it and the characters. Yeah. But the season, it started off
let me down.
Yeah, it started off with promise and then it kind of built and then was kind of like and then at the latter half it picked up.
It did. But then to end the reunion like this and not even talk about all the things that you guys were begging us to watch, leaving us with these cliffhangers, not even to finish and like address it, that's annoying. Yeah. Because I remember early on being like, I'm kind of bored, you know? Right. So. We'll watch again. I'm down to see next season.
I am too, wondering what the cast is going to be and the direction they're going to take. Also, so hopeful there may be like a spin-off or something, because Paige in her statement did say something like, this won't be the last you see of me, and she could be just talking about in general, because she is doing a bunch, but like maybe there'll be something else. We'll see.
Did you see the Donnie paper towel commercials with Sierra?
Oh, Brawny.
Is it Brownie?
Yes. That was funny with
Why
Brantley.
have I never heard? Yes. And they were all dressed the same?
Mm-hmm. That was a good one. The TikTok was also funny.
It was very funny. And all of the references, I thought they were really good. I was like, okay, Sierra in her bag. So you're on a car commercial.
They were.
You're doing paper towels.
Mm-hmm. Sierra's in her bag.
She is.
When they were like talking for 37 minutes and they're like, said something about toes or something. Yeah. And I'm like, this is good.
And then there was like a sloth or something and she's like, no. Or there was something hanging up and she was like, leave that. And it was like in reference to the girls. What did they call themselves?
Oh, the bed bugs.
The bed bugs, yes.
It was a good
cute.
Commercial.
I was like, see, and we come out of this and Sierra is doing commercials. Like, if that doesn't tell you.
Look, MVP of the season, Sierra and Amanda and Paige.
Yes.
So,
yes,
that's all I gotta say. But with that being said,
I think that's it, y'all.
I think that's it for today's episode. Y'all, we're gonna miss Summer House, but thank y'all so much for joining us in this journey.
Yeah,
we're about to dive into Love Island.
Dive in, feet first.
We're recording this Saturday. Mm-hmm. We got 4 episodes to talk about,
and we're going live tomorrow on
we
Patreon.
Are so excited. Patreon at the shade of it all. You know what? As much as it's like this is going to be a lot of work, just Love Island in general, because there's so many episodes. When I'm watching these episodes, I'm like, I'm glad to be home.
Yeah.
This is good.
We made it.
We did it.
We did it, Joe.
Yes. But in the meantime, y'all should rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and give us 5 stars. We'd love to shout out reviews on Apple Podcasts. Spotify, you can leave comments and we can comment back, so that's fun. Mm-hmm. If you want to see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to our beautiful voices, you can find us at the Shade of It All podcast and like and subscribe to that channel, please. And then you can find us on TikTok at the Shade of It All podcast, Instagram at the Shade of It All pod, and as we mentioned, Patreon at the Shade of It All. Talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.